Can I have a journal for notes?
No.
How
Okay.
dare you?
You have to do your own stuff for that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I take a lot of notes, like a metric butt ton during sessions, so I will probably load those up in a WordPad for you. And take your own too.
That isn't me being like, hey, I can't do this or whatever. It's literally I can't do that because it doesn't have the thing to do that for me.
There should be an option because when we were trying it with my real life group for Roll20, my DM figured out the button for it. So I don't know how to do it, but I will figure out where to put some notes.
How about this? There. Maybe that'll help you.
Yes. This is exactly the thing that I was using for notes in my other game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hey, you need to Hey, calm down. Dante, look at me. I'm on the microphone, so please be quiet, okay? Thank you. Turn it down. Thank you.
When you have to remember all of your musical cues. Okay. There we go. It should have done that for you.
Oh yeah, it does.
Yep, you're good.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. All right. So once Raz is done, then we'll begin our tale.
Oh.
Please tell me you're not going to to die to Cloud of Darkness.
I. Okay, I won't.
Okay.
I won't tell you
Oof.
that everybody died.
Hmm.
Hey, at least it's not Dunscape.
True.
Oh man, I hate Wadmore.
Dunscape is just fun for the first boss and watching all the sprouts go
Then
bye bye.
Yeah, and then pain afterwards.
We took Will for it the other day for his first time ever. Entertaining.
Yeah.
Zav says hi. Raz.
Hi, Zav! Get your arse over here to the States.
All right. Music is handled. Actually, now that I think about it.
Our healer went AFK. One of our healers.
No.
Yep.
This sounds like
Having the worst run
just-
ever.
just a real good time.
If I could, I'd join in and help.
All good.
Just to make it less painful for you.
Oh,
It isn't so much. I think it's just because we've got some new people in, and the people here know that there's new people in here, but they didn't bother to help them with the mechanics, and I didn't have enough time. But now that we're waiting, I have given them the basic rundown of the key elements, and so hopefully we will survive.
I hope you get all of the comms.
I just want to get through it, that's all.
It's a voice of despair.
So of note,
Okay.
Surya and Raz,
Yes.
I have placeholder images for your characters until you get me pictures that you would like to use for them.
Yeah, I'm
I'll-
still working on that.
No worries. No rush, no worries. It's just what'll go on until you guys find pictures that you like.
Wow. Somebody just yelled out go and they went and didn't wait for a healer.
Wow.
I mean, one healer, what's that gonna do?
A lot.
Or
A
Will.
lot.
No.
I feel bad for Will. Because he's our other healer and he's only running Astro.
Oh.
And I think he's still getting used to it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I will do all the damage that I can muster. Hey, they listened to my mechanics.
Whee.
Yay.
Oh. I feel when you crack your wrist again.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That satisfying crunch.
The
It's
pop,
right
you
until then
just
it
can't
aches for
stop.
the next, 2 days.
True.
The nearest thing I'm gonna find.
Oh, that's the character portrait you want to use?
That's the nearest thing I can find.
Okay, alright, okay.
I have concerns now.
Hey, you know?
That tone of voice, definite concerns.
It's very Ara Ara, if you know what I mean.
Oh my.
Oh boy. Oh
Hmm.
my.
Hey, considering this character is inspired by another character I used for D&D. That was actually the portrait I used.
My character is the sister of my other player that I'm playing in my other game.
There's not very many good pictures of Eladrin.
You're perfectly fine. Alright. There. Fancy name, Mick. Long name. There we go.
Huh? Oh no, Will.
Did he go splat?
Yeah, and our healers, other two healers,
Oh,
still not
I
back. I
forgot to
think he
give
just
you
went AFK and figured
vision.
Aw.
it'd sit it out for the rest of this.
What kind of vision would you like your night vision to be, Surya?
Hmm.
What type of color would you like things tinted? I'm gonna go with that one.
I'm gonna die.
I have concerns.
So it's just
I-
standard dark vision.
Okay, I think I see Surya's character on the map.
Yes, you do. You most certainly do. Where is she? Meant what I said, and I said what I meant.
Mm-hmm.
There. There you go. All right.
We did it.
We did it.
Ooh.
We did it. We did it. We did it.
I half expected you to break in the door up.
I
Sorry.
mean,
Dante, stop.
hey, here we are.
Hey, look at me. I said look at me. What did I say? Look at me. You're not sorry because you're not going to do it again. Do you want your phone taken away? Next time you do it, I'm taking it away.
Because I rolled a 97.
By all means.
Is it on Proof of Darkness?
Yeah. I don't care
You
what it
don't-
is. It's my loot. I want it.
It's my loot and I need it now.
After all the troubles this has put you through, you should at least get some kind of reward.
And I probably won't get it because our healer is still AFK.
Well, there is a time delay on it.
True.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Um,
All right, Raz with us. All right. So, thank you for coming to session 1. Obviously, everybody, thank you. So everybody make sure that you have your character sheets up.
Yep.
yes.
Uh,
Oh.
if you're not wanting them to be sort of front and center, you can double click on like the big area where your name is, and it will minimize it on the actual map itself. So it's not all of the time just in front of you.
For the character sheet?
Yep. And if you just
Pop it out too.
Yep, you can also pop it out if you have like a second screen or what have you.
I just discovered that, so I'm happy.
So about my apologies, let me get into character here. A 100 years ago, the dwarven kingdoms all sort of just stopped. Not that they just stopped existing, but they stopped working as kingdoms. They, for whatever reason, fell apart, and the dwarves themselves began working. For a long time, humanity and those who worked alongside them had assumed that the dwarves were working on some sort of maybe war machine or something of nefarious ends, as they were considerably the strongest power at the time. However, as the months turned to years, and the years turned into, well,
decades?
it became very clear that the dwarves themselves didn't seem to have any particular will to push forward out into the lands anymore. And as such, they were mostly left alone. Granted, there were always some that would try to figure out what was going on with them and try to figure out what sort of ailment the dwarves had. But as it stood, the dwarvish community at large became sort of a thing that happened in the background. If you saw a dwarf moving, you wouldn't really think twice of it, as it more or less resembled a animal of sorts, more so than an actual living person. As society sort of became used to this, the dwarves of legend had long since moved off into a distant memory of the past, and now they were just there. The humans raised in power, and the kingdoms of man sort of swept over what was once dwarven home. With that, they saw a lot of prosperity. Now, in the last 5 years, the world has seen a change yet again. The dwarves have come back from whatever it was that had taken them, and now there is an abundance of these deep dungeons that coat the continent that you guys are living on. The continent being... Pull up my notes here because I'm freezing up. The continent of Delham. Delham.
DELHIM.
Yeah.
Wait,
Thank you.
Denholm.
Denham. So as you guys, as society sort of moved past the need for dwarves, the old dwarven kingdoms were left mostly to squalor and to rot. Monsters having long since moved into the once thriving capital of Kragheim. The dwarves have found themselves sort of without a place to belong to. And in this last sort of 5-year span, people have started to, the dwarves have started to reconnect with the world outside. And as of now, a message has gone out throughout the kingdom from the former prince of the dwarves, now king, that he is looking for the reason why the dwarves lost as much time as they did. And to anybody who can answer that question, he offers the dwarven wealth, which is a truly unthinkable amount of gold. And that is pretty much the parlance that anybody referring to the dwarven wealth is talking about. Just any amount of gold you can think of, a little bit more than that is what they are assuming it is. You all, through whatever means, have ventured to a small town called Hillbend. It is a very, very quiet, sort of out of the way settlement that doesn't really see a lot of action. It's not near any of the dungeons. It's not near any capital cities. It is just away. Here, it is safe. Things are quiet. The farmhands are always around in the fields, making sure everything is plowed. All of the people are very kind and open, and it is quite a bit less hectic than an adventurer might assume. So I'm going to go around and we're going to sort of just tell me where we find your character in Hillbend. What are they doing? What is going on? Are they just getting in, or is this like a place that they've been for a little bit and have ingrained themselves at? Okay. I am going to start, just pick randomly, Alara. Where do we find your character?
My character would have been here for a day or two. Probably, Sai is most likely in the tavern, trying to ferret out information on the local area, see if there's anything of interest.
Okay. And so you've been here for a day or two. You've found your way to the local tavern, and this is where most of the adventurers end up going. Obviously, you see your fair share of sort of rough people coming through here. And the proprietor of the actual tavern himself is a very kind man, and has pointed you in the direction of a few interesting pieces of information that he thinks might be interesting for you. That being said, you do catch a few stray glances here and there, mostly because of your particular race being a Harangon. Not a lot of people are used to seeing anybody of your particular species out here. So as you're sort of sitting there, looking around the tavern, trying to get any information you can out of the barkeep, this rather intellectual looking gentleman walks over to you. He's wearing this long sort of flowing cloak and has a pair of spectacles on, graying beard, looks like he's probably in his early 50s and maybe late 40s. And he's looked like he's seen a lot of travel in his time. And as he sort of walks over to Yusai, he nods his head and goes, hello there. I was just wondering, we don't get to see many of your Fey folk around these parts. Might I just ask, are you here for a while, or are you just hopping through? And he kind of chuckles at his own joke. There's a couple of other people who seem to be snickering at the comment.
What did I say? Give it here.
Slightly tired look. I've heard this one before. There are still some points of interest in the local area. I imagine I'll be here a little while longer at least.
He sort of nods his head a little bit and goes, of course then. If you are looking for any assistance in that matter, I might have something that you might find interesting. And he hands you this little scroll that has a blue sort of wax seal on it. And he just sort of hands it to you and goes, "When you are alone, I would suggest looking at that." He sort of nods his head. He doesn't give you a name or anything, and he just sort of like meanders away from you.
I'm watching him meander away. My ears have perked up a little bit in interest there.
Mhm.
Because, yay, bunny ears. Just like, look down at the little thing I've been given. Right.
Looking at the sort of seal on the actual scroll itself, you see that it has a picture of what appears to be like a lock on it. Like somebody has made a wax seal that just has the symbol of a lock on it. And it's just sort of sitting there in your hand. The parchment feels fairly nice, but I think you as a fae have like a general feeling like it isn't magic in nature in any way. It's a scroll.
Just look it over, just like, when I'm alone.
And so we sort of pull out of the tavern and we go towards our next sort of individual. So, Belgamine, where do we find Woe?
You probably find Woe helping out with the farmhands if she can find some work, whatnot. She's trying to gain these people's trust because of the way she looks. So she's trying to help out and become likable as she can be within a town like this.
Okay, give me a persuasion check. So
great.
You haven't really had any luck sort of ingratiating yourself to anybody here. Like there are obviously people who are going to hire the fuck off large tiefling lady, but more or less it's a, oh, you're here, you're working, and that's great, but at the end of the day nobody's going for drinks with you, you know. And during this time you've probably caught more than a few of the farmhands watching you like toss bales of hay like they were just, you know, like small rocks off into the cart, and watching with just like a meager amount of fear before you're sort of scattering away from you. However, as you're sort of finishing up for the day, you know, your hands are covered in dirt, and there's a general feeling of tiredness as you've finished off the last bit of plowing for the day. You are greeted by a gentleman with gray beard, looks like he's 45 to 50 or so. And he sort of nods his head and goes, hello there. I couldn't help but notice that you don't really seem like one of the normal people around here. Are you planning on staying here for long?
Likely not.
Unfortunate. I did have some work for some and you watch him like sort of roll his eyes across you, and you probably like, how tall is Woe?
She's 6'8".
She's 6'8". Yeah, you stand like a full head and a half above this dude. He's probably like 5'4". Like you're towering over this dude, and he sort of like looks you up and down and goes, able-bodied, and I think that there might be some work in it if you would be interested. And he just, without like waiting for your opinion, he pulls out this like scroll, same sort of stamp on it, and just sort of holds it out to you.
She takes it, and she'll just look at it. What is this supposed to be?
When you are alone, I would suggest perhaps looking at that, and maybe you'll find that this town can be a little bit better. And he sort of gives you this smile and sort of nods his head and just sort of walks away from you and like doesn't give you the chance to be like, I don't want this thing, or like he doesn't give you a chance to refute. He just sort of walks away.
She kind of looks over to her shoulder, and a weasel pops its head out of her hair. Do weasels count? She's talking to the weasel. This is being
There,
alone.
there is some slight chittering, and you have a sense that the weasel counts itself.
She gives it a very big scratch on his head. It's totally dirty now. It doesn't seem to mind though.
Mm-hmm.
She just cleans up and gets ready to go to the tavern, I guess.
Okay. You make your way off, and we go to find our next individual. Elle, why don't you tell us a bit about Beto? Where do we find Beto?
Beto is most likely going to collect a delivery for the tavern keeper
Mm.
to do an exchange of gold for any supplies that he asked her to go asked them to go get.
Mm.
And he's just pulling a cart along behind because they're good at that.
Very fair. Yeah, you've successfully managed to get the particular like stuff, and your cart is pretty well full of things, and you've become sort of a staple in Hillbend in the last little while that you've spent here. And as you're sort of walking through town or trotting through town, kids have like run up and like jumped onto the cart and like laughed, and it's sort of, you're seen as a interesting person in Hillbend, but not necessarily a citizen there by a lot of people. So as you're sort of making your way back, and a lot of the children have sort of scattered off to the wind, you see the individual from the last two scenes, this sort of graying man, who you know to be the proprietor of the library of the Hillmen. You know this purely because he has kicked you out of his library for more than one occasion for trying to steal. Not because on more than one occasion you have thought of just, oh, well, it's knowledge and knowledge should be shared, and thus I'm going to take this thing, more or less. And so he sort of nods his head over to you and goes, Beto, I have an opportunity for you to do some right for Hellbent, if you be so interested.
Not going to throw a book at me again, right?
And he gives you this sort of like, yes, that was a good time smile, and he shakes his head a bit and goes, no, I would never do that. I don't have any books on me right now anyways.
Just gives him a suspicious look.
And he pulls out this scroll, same thing as what was shown before, and sort of holds it out to you and
Does
goes,
that count as a book?
it's like a little scroll of paper. It's not like a big wooden scroll or anything like that.
Like the list that Yin gives to go get things.
Mm.
Hey,
And just sort of like holds it
can I
out
have a drink?
and looks at you and goes, when you have a moment, I would suggest looking at that, and if it tickles your fancy, perhaps finding me. You'll know where.
Okay.
Okay, and so you take it, and he just sort of nods his head and moves away from you, sort of giving you space to continue on your way to go help Yen as well. Notably, like, as you're sort of like thinking about it, you never actually got the librarian's name. They've no, you're good, Raz. They've he's never really given you a name so much as that he is just sort of known to you as the librarian. And anybody who sort of like you talk to about him has given you the name the librarian.
Vito calls him Bookman.
Of course. And so as you're sort of like wandering off to go bring Yen his supplies, we sort of fade off once more to another individual. Where do we find Evan?
Evan's probably very recently arrived.
Okay, like last day or like
Yeah,
couple hours?
probably early in the morning. Like
Okay.
super early in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So more than likely looking for the best place to rent a room.
Okay.
So if that's the tavern or if there's specifically an inn, that's where she's going to be.
So there is the tavern, and they do have rooms there, but there is a large inn directly beside it that is sort of affiliated with it. As you sort of make your way over towards the inn, you sort of get this feeling of somebody watching you, and I want you to give me a perception check really quick.
Okay. Let's see. Go back to my character sheet. You may have to remind me how to do this. Okay.
Yeah, you just gotta press the perception button there.
Normal roll.
Yep. Okay. So you sort of like look around, and besides the few like sort of, oh, you're a new face glances of the citizens, you don't really feel who might be watching you. It's just this sort of feel like the feeling of your hairs on the back of your neck standing up as you're sort of making your way back into the inn. And as you sort of step inside, you see that there is a sort of taller dragonborn individual, golden scales, missing one eye. That's the one eye that is missing has been like very clearly some like old fight that there are still scars of, and he sort of leans against the desk in front of him and sort of nods his head to you. A portly dragonborn, if you can think that. He sort of nods his head and goes, "Ah, friend, how can I help you? You look for a room?"
Yes, I would like a room.
Ah,
Something
good.
simple. I don't need anything extravagant.
Simple. I can do this. If you are looking for single bed, may be a little bit harder, but if you are looking to perhaps spend the night with a few other people in a larger room, I could set something up like that. In a commonplace area.
I'll try the common room for a night and see how it goes.
He gives you one of these large fanged smiles, and you see that a few of his teeth have been replaced with like silver fangs, and he sort of nods his head and goes, "Ah, yes, the wise choice." And he sort of pulls out this small sort of key and holds it out to you and goes, this will get you into the common area over there, and it will only be 3 silver for the night.
Does that sound reasonable?
Give me an intelligence check. Seems
Holy-
reasonable enough. Like, generally speaking, I assume that you're pretty used to like staying in churches. Well, intelligence check and save are the same thing for clerics, so it should be fine.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I rolled intelligence, so.
Yep, you're fine.
Okay.
You sort of you're probably more used to spending like time in churches and that sort of thing as opposed to actually spending time in
Yeah,
but
that or offering, work at a farm to stay, a
Mm.
night in the barn or something like that. She's not overly picky about where she sleeps as long as she sleeps.
for sure. And yeah, it just seems fine to you. And this Dragonborn sort of holds out his hand for your silver and gives you a big fanged smile. He seems nice enough.
Who is that? I'm just testing something.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I did roll a saving throw.
Yeah.
On intelligence. Okay. I clicked on intelligence under saving throw. I don't know if that does any different.
No, not for you. The only difference is if you have proficiency with one of those skills, then it'll give you a little bit of a bonus rather than just like your flat score.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Mm.
So, okay. So, yeah. She has the key to the common room.
Okay. He hands you the key.
Makes a show of, digging for a few silver.
He doesn't seem to mind. He just waits, and once you hand over the silver coins, he nods his head and hands you the key. If you go to check on it, the room itself is like fairly is fairly comfortable looking.
Okay.
It's got a bunch of like pillows all sort of thrown around, a lot of like cots and stuff like that. There's like a hammock in just hanging off of the ceiling type thing. And it seems like there are a few people who are staying in this particular one, judging just by like bags and stuff being left at the bases of certain cots. But yeah. So once you're in the space, do you like just drop your shit and like walk out, or are you like doing anything once you get into the area?
She'll look around, find a place to claim, kind of, and settle a couple of pillows and maybe, something on the pillows, like a book or something from her backpack.
Mm-hmm.
And then head out into town. Probably
Okay.
to the tavern next door.
Okay. You make your way out, and the sort of second you're out of the inn itself, this gentleman walks up to you, sort of nods his head, and smiles at you and goes, a new face. Always lovely to see in our neck of the woods. May I have your name, miss?
You're not just a wee bit creepy, are you?
He sort of like smiles at that and goes,
What did I say?
I do get that a lot. I'm the local librarian here. He holds out a hand to you.
She looks at his hand. She's a little paranoid, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
She looks at his hand for a minute, decides, okay. Gives him a shake of the hand, firm grip.
He's like a fucking noodle in your arm. You're like used to like military guys who would like grab your hand and do the whole like squeeze and like shake. This dude is like the limpest noodle that you've ever like wagged before. Phrasing. Anyways,
No limp noodle.
you like sort of shake his hand, and he sort of like pulls his hand back and goes, "Ah,
2.
very strong, I see. So I am the librarian of this town, and I've been looking at very interesting people that have sort of wandered into town in the last little bit, and I was wondering if you might be looking for work."
Looks down at herself. She's kind of confused as to how she looks interesting, but okay. Yes, I am. I was gonna get some food and then find work, but I can do it in the other order if that's more convenient for you.
He smiles and shakes his head and goes, By all means, go get your food, but once you've relaxed and have some time to yourself," he pulls out a scroll with a blue seal on it and holds it out to you. He goes, "Read this and come find me if you're interested in my proposal."
Is it gonna explode?
No. And he sort of like shakes his head and like turns to walk away from you.
Hey. Okay, bye.
He like sort of waves over his shoulder a few times. He meanders away from you.
Fucking Emmett Selk.
God.
I did the
Wow,
Emmett
that's
Selk
all I can
one.
picture.
Uh,
Okay,
yeah.
she'll take the scroll and
Maybe.
wander into the inn and
Okay,
find a
you
place to sit.
wander into the inn, find your place to sit. You're given a fresh meal. It seems that Yen here, the proprietor, a very sort of nice human man that has been sat up, is fairly good at taking care of people who stay at the inn, so you don't actually have to pay to eat here. He just gives you a warm meal, friendly smile. And as we're sort of moved away from Evan having this warm meal, Surya, where do we find Celion?
Nope.
Selena de Bagram when Melantha.
What?
That's a lot of Gaelic and Welsh.
Where
You're
do we
also a
find
troll.
where do we find Say?
Is there a library in this town or a bookshop?
There is in fact a library in this town.
In
Yeah,
the
I've been
library.
talking about the librarian.
What the fuck? I'm kidding.
In the library.
So you have you been in town for long, or is this like you have just come to town and you were like, I'm going to see if there are any interesting books
Yeah,
here?
it's just been to. Yeah, it's only just been recently.
Okay, so you've just sort of gotten here and you're feeling out the area, and as you're sort of walking through the bookshelves, it's a lot of mundane like human books. It's a lot of like history of the human civilization, a few books of like the old dwarvish traditions, and actually, why don't you roll me an investigation roll, please? Okay. So, yeah, you're looking over and you don't find anything particularly interesting to you. You just sort of like look around. There's no magical tomes here. There's nothing of arcane importance that you can find. There is just a lot of books. and you eventually settle in on one that is like the history of Hellbend, as it's just like, well, this is the biggest book that I could find here. I may as well kill some time and read over whatever land this is.
I haven't
Uh,
read it.
hmm?
I haven't read it, therefore I will read it.
Very fair. And as you sort of start like opening it up and begin reading the book in the library, you find like a table to sit down to read it. There, like a moment passes, and you're sitting there, you're reading, and you hear the sound of tea being poured beside you. Is this something like, are you just transfixed on the book, or would you be like cognizant of the world around you?
Say cognizant.
Okay. So you sort of hear this, the sound of tea being poured in a cup beside you. And if you looked up, there's the same gentleman who's been in all of the previous scenes, is standing there, sort of smiles at you and nods his head and pours himself a cup and sits down in a chair near to you, but not like right beside you type thing. And uh, sort of gives a light smile and goes, "It's not very often that I have people coming into the library. I am the keeper here." He sort of smiles and bows his head very softly before like picking up his teacup and taking a sip of it.
Why are you drinking tea in a library? Might ruin the books.
He sort of smiles at you and nods his head and goes, "Ah, a lover of knowledge just as myself. I am very careful about doing such things. I would never risk to harm a book."
Good. I would hope
Nods.
you don't.
He sort of nods his head at you and smiles and goes, "If I may, if you are interested in knowledge beyond what I have out to the general public, I may be willing to part some information if you're willing to work for it, that is."
For knowledge, I will.
He nods his head and sort of smiles at you. He pulls out the same sort of scroll that he's given to everybody else and holds it, just sort of sets it in front of you and goes, "When you have a moment, when you're alone, I would suggest opening that up and um, finding me once more. I think you'll find the information there quite interesting."
I shall do. And the giant snowy owl that is on her head is going to wander down and take the scroll.
Okay. This owl sort of waddles
It's
down,
fine.
picks up the scroll, and wanders back up on top of your head. And the librarian sort of nods his head and smiles and finishes his tea before setting it onto a tray and sort of walking off away from you, giving you time to read the rest of your book. So, as the sort of day continues on, uh, you all are going about your own business. Um, you all are sort of eventually in your own space, away from others, past your familiars or your pets. And uh, you. So, first of all, does everybody crack the seal on their scroll? Or do any of you not do that?
I'd crack the seal and have a look. I'm curious by nature.
Will wants to know.
Yep, Selende.
It would
D&D.
for Vito, it'd be after everything is done, so probably well into the night that they remember that they
Mhm.
have it.
Okay. Okay. So you all eventually sort of open up your scrolls. Um, on each of your scrolls, it has a you sort of unroll it. The wax, like as you sort of crack the wax to unsheath the scroll, the wax itself sort of just dissolves away from the paper, leaving it sort of alone. And you open it up, and it is a missive from the librarian itself, themselves. And you get a sort of general feeling of relaxed assurance in his writing. It's very like flowery for some of you, uh, but it seems very sure of itself. In the letter, he describes having begun an excavation on one of the dwarven dungeons nearby. Nearby being a full 3-day journey away from the actual town itself. That being said, he said that he's run into a bit of trouble in a local knoll pack being out there and sort of trying to make the dungeon itself their new base of operations. Um, the librarian also has informed you all that if you would be interested in dealing with this for him, he would be more than happy to compensate you in whatever manner best suits you, as sort of written down on the bottom. And it's all of the sort of messages end with now please flip over the scroll. And as each of you sort of turns it around, you are each greeted with a portion of a map, on the back of which of the back of your scroll is a sort of roughly drawn crude depiction of a map that seems not rushed, but in the works of, more or less. He has also informed you of where to find the dig site if you are interested in going, and if you are in fact interested in going, that you should meet at the east side of the town at the following day. So, I beg you the question: does everybody show up?
Yep.
Uh,
Nina's in full armor.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yep.
sheer curiosity, if nothing else.
Okay.
Knowles tried to steal Vito's Nui once. Vito wants revenge.
So, you all sort of make your way over to the edge of the town the following morning. You all sort of come together and sort of see each other all at about the same time. Um, and you are all greeted by the sounds of birds in the trees and the light rustling of wind. Hillbend itself is surrounded by a very beautiful sort of scenic landscape. Um, Lots of fields, lots of grass, lots of trees, and that sort of thing. It is also perched up on the actual town itself is perched on the side of a hill. It's not a particularly large hill, mind you, but it's a hill nonetheless. And as you sort of get to the top of the hill, as that is the way out that you are headed, you sort of see off into the distance over a few many of the trees and all over the fields. And off in the expanse, each of you sort
Close
of
the bedroom
sees
door.
this like light reflection off in the distance of like water, as if there was a lake off in the distance. But you all gathered here. There is the 5 of you here, and the librarian is nowhere in sight.
I take it you all got a letter too?
I hold up my scroll thingy. Yep.
Yes, yes, there was a scroll, and I also hold up mine.
Knowles, Dungeon, Badness.
Shifty bookman.
Where is he? If we are to be set off. Can I look around and see if I see him?
Yeah, roll a perception check for me.
Sorry, I have a bad habit of closing my character sheet.
No worries. I definitely have done that more than times than I'd be happy to admit.
Come on. There we go. I don't see
No, you don't really catch anything out of the ordinary. And like it'd be very hard to like hide here. Like it's a lot of open area. And like yeah, there are a couple of trees, but like it'd be fairly obvious if somebody was like hiding behind one of them, you know?
Yeah. I guess we're to do this on our own.
It
I
would seem
suppose
so.
so.
Okay. Creepy man.
Shifty bookman.
So
Bookman who drank tea in a library.
What was
You're not
this
supposed to
looking
do that.
weirdly? Very well. I suppose we go. Do you all have the map on your back of your scroll? A
I got a
weasel.
bit.
Vito flips this over.
A weasel comes out of her hair with the
Ah.
scroll in its mouth. And she takes it and opens it.
Weasel.
Yes, his name is Trouble.
How appropriate.
What is that supposed to mean?
Weasels are sneaky.
Yes. She
And
just
they
looks.
They can fit everywhere.
I know, and it disappears into her hair again.
See? My point proven.
And if she moves her hair a little bit and it's gone, it's not there. She just unrolls the scroll. I suppose we should look at the map then.
Vito flips the paper over. Holds it out. You don't understand this shit.
okay. Does everybody show their portion of the map?
Yep.
Yep.
My owl is holding mine.
Okay.
I have mine folded up so that the edges of the map are so that it's just the map bit that's showing, so that you can put them together like puzzle pieces.
Okay.
Mhm.
You guys take a little bit of time. Everybody roll me an intelligence check.
Oh boy, I'm real good at these.
Just straight intelligence.
Hey, other people make up for what I can't do.
I do good.
Yeah.
The wizard
I
smart.
know that this is a road.
Wizard be smart.
What was too concerned about what Evan is talking about her weasel?
Mhm.
Alright, Vito's really smart, but can't, like, is not wise at all.
Okay. So you guys begin like sort of piecing them together, and Woe is trying to like haphazardly like put hers in like a specific place, but and like Evan is also trying to figure out where it goes, and slowly say, I'm going to just call you Say, because you sort of eventually go, okay, fine. And you sort of put all of the pieces together and you look at the map, and it is not like a geographical map. As you're sort of looking at it, you realize that it is the opening section of like a dungeon. It's very square, it's very like by the books. And as you're sort of like looking over things and you sort of put all of the pieces together, you sort of you sort of look at everything, and it seems like the librarian has at least mapped out the first floor for you guys, and seems to be um in the process of wanting to go deeper, but has marked down that there is issues with Knowles around the like exit point of the first floor, and it seems like fairly decently large too. uh it it definitely seems like it has taken him a little bit of time to work through the area of this particular dungeon.
Wonderful. Now I just need a map to know where the hell we're going.
I'm gonna guess east. Just east.
Is that an educated guess or a random guess?
Yes.
What's that?
She just starts laughing.
I mean, if he really wants us to help, he's gonna kind of. I would assume he would kind of point us in the direction we need to go. He said east.
Read the text again.
Doubt. Press X to doubt.
Does
So-
anybody know this area very well?
So
I've been here a few
Vito would
days,
be there
I'm
the
afraid.
longest, right?
yeah, Bito's been here for about like a month and a half at most. And you would know that there is indeed like a dungeon area that has been spotted over here. Though if it's the one that he's talking about or not, you're not entirely certain.
It's east.
Vito's gonna point in that direction and be like, "Dwarves had placed this way." Might be what I'm talking about.
Should we consult him first? Just to double check.
We still in town?
Yeah, you guys are like on the outskirt, like you're leading towards the outside of town, but not leaving just yet.
Just gonna march towards the library.
I'm gonna follow.
Woe follows, and it's kind of awkward. She has to stop every now and again because her steps are really long.
Fair enough.
Vito just keeps going. There's no stopping. Long trots.
Yeah, walking next to a horse is probably a nice change of pace for, or walking next to a centaur is probably a nice change of pace for Woe.
It's nice. She feels
40
happy.
feet.
She's got 30 feet, but she's keeping pace pretty well.
So I assume Say and Sai go along with. Oh, this is terrible.
What have you done to this man?
Call her what everyone else used to call her, Mel.
Mel. All right, fair enough. So are Mel and Sai both following along, or are you guys just gonna stay at the edge of town?
We're gonna
No, I'm gonna
I'm
come
gonna
along.
follow.
Okay. So you guys follow along as well. You make your way over to the library, and there is a sign hanging on the library that just says "out." That is just sort of hanging on the front door, and there is a small a scroll hanging from it with the same blue wax seal that you guys have all had as well.
I take
Well.
that as a note to us.
Convenient?
I'm gonna grab it and read it because Beto probably got there first.
Okay. So you crack it open, and there is like a moment where the wax sort of melts away from anything, and you open it up, and there is a simple message. It goes, "Right, I did forget to give you a map," and it just says "turn over." You turn it over, and there is a very sort of rough uh cobbled together map, which is like you are here, and then it just has a few sort of landmarks going east, and then a circle on the very end of the way that you had sort of figured out, Beto, in the past. But it does have some noticeable things, which is that there is a very large tree that is a fair distance away that he is marked down for whatever reason to stay away from, and that there is a particularly nasty sort of in the second leg of the thing. There is a particularly nasty sort of group of dogs that are sort of hunting in that area, and to keep away from them.
Our map.
What was instantly interested in said tree?
We have a danger tree and wolves.
And woofs.
Lovely. We'll
Hungry
omit it for
wolves.
now. Maybe deal with it in the future. So is it east then?
Player gonna assume yes.
Does it indicate east?
Yes, it does indicate east.
Yay!
Yay!
Yay.
Okay, guys, I've got survival.
No, it indicates west actually, but then you realize that Beta's holding the map upside down. Flip it around after 6 days, you're there. No, so yeah, you guys can take off.
We're leaved out.
Would Beto be taking their part?
I mean, that's up to you.
I would assume yes.
Okay, then you take your cart with you.
Okay. Beto is now stopped by the tavern and is now pulling along a very weird looking cart.
You want to describe it, or just
Uh,
as weird looking?
the size, it's currently covered by a bit of canvas.
Hmm.
But what can be seen of it is weird, like it's really small, so it doesn't look like anybody could ride on it unless they were small themselves, and it would not probably be comfortable with the pokey bits that's on it. And the wheels are a weird stone. It's not colored like any stone anybody would have found.
Hmm. Shoot.
Okay.
Ah,
So
that's special. Wait, that's different. Does that work?
Yes.
Huh. It looks heavy.
No.
did the
Huh.
stone come from for the wheels?
Yes.
Wait, what?
Where did the stone come for the wheels?
Yes.
Yes?
Vito has no idea. This is
Of
Vito's Nui,
course.
no one take.
By the way, I'm Evan. Evan. I know it sounds like a guy's name. It's not. It's an Evan.
That is a very nice name. My name is Woe.
Whoa, like, whoa.
No, like,
Like-
the misfortune. Woe.
That's unfortunate.
Yes.
Poor unfortunate soul.
Yeah. She kind of looks
mean,
upset at that, honestly.
It's a great name. I like it as a name in and of itself. It's unfortunate that it has such an association.
She just grunts at Evan. It doesn't really talk anymore for a few.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
I should
It's
have warned you
fine.
all that Evan, not Raz, Evan is a little cracked.
Hey, so's Vito.
The weasel gives Evan a very disapproving glance.
Uh,
Don't eat me, weasel.
It goes in and out of her hair and her armor, and you can never tell where it is. It pops out sometimes different every place.
The owl twitches.
Evan's new fear is the weasel.
I, I look at the owl. Don't eat my weasel. She talks to it like it's a human being, like it can understand her.
Vito
She's
does.
very well
Okay,
trained, I have you know.
I'm better now. Vito does a little hop thing, like an excited horse, and goes, "I am Vito."
Suppose I should introduce myself. I am Selende Bragrin Mithanfla.
Whoa, looks at them. Do you have anything
Mouthful.
shorter than I can call you?
You just get a head tilt and an ear flick.
No offense given. You get the kind of like knowledge hurt head vibe from Woe. Vaguely. Not completely bad, but yeah.
I suppose you can call me Mithanfla. Delantha.
Lantha?
Melantha.
Nalantha.
Nell.
Excuse you?
No.
Vito cannot. Word.
No.
Nell.
Hmm.
And you. She points at the heron gone.
Ah, apologies. My name is Sai.
Easy. Easy name.
Thank you. It definitely seems easier on head.
Sorry.
It seems easier on her head to say Sai
Ah.
than the other one.
And there is a noise and what appeared to be like a fur stole unfolds from around her neck and turns out to be a mottled brown cat. This is Fluffy.
She points at the cat. Don't eat my weasel.
The cat lifts its head and looks at you, yawns mightily, and starts licking a paw.
Yawns mightily.
Yes.
You know that thing where the cat's mouth opens wider than its
Mhm.
head?
Yeah.
It doesn't
That
actually
yawn.
need to yawn, but it's showing off with its yawn.
It was just asked not to eat someone, so it's demonstrating its teeth.
Yeah, lovely. Mavine looks at us suspiciously and shakes her head.
Ugh. I hate that word. Anyway. trotting along.
Okay. So you guys start moving, making your way east. So you get through your first day of travel, and it is relatively calm. You guys aren't like running into any major issues. It doesn't seem like there's anything too dangerous out here. But as you guys are sort of making your way towards the east, I want who would be leading your group?
Probably Beto, because they have to be reminded that people aren't as fast as them
Mm-hmm.
consistently.
Okay. So Beto, give me a survival check really quick.
This is gonna be fun. Nope.
Good, good, good. So you guys
The
are
first one.
sort of making your way down east, and it's the sort of quiet, relaxed sort of way. And as you're sort of making your journey there, you at the end of your first day, you find yourself starting to get like fairly tired and just like looking for a place to sort of sit down and relax. And off to the side of the sort of path that you have seen, you see this nice tree that is very, very sort of welcoming to look at. It's like a almost like a oak tree. It's big, sturdy, like very, very hardy looking tree. Um, and Beto, as you're sort of like looking around for a place to stay, you look over at that and you're like, this is the one for me.
It's incredibly accurate to my 0 in wisdom.
Do I get a sense that this is Big Danger Tree?
I mean, it is a hardy tree, but it looks just like a tree. Like, it doesn't seem all that dangerous. It's getting towards fall right now, so the leaves are starting to get brown and sort of dusting the ground with it as it's falling off of the actual tree branches.
They
themselves.
are heading towards it.
No. Woe kind of looks at Beto. Mira warned about a tree.
What?
She points at the map. Big trees, bad.
Oh. Are we sure it's really dangerous?
I have no idea. She says shortly after. She's tired.
It's kind of like shifting legs, looking
Yeah.
between the group and the tree.
If
How much
anybody,
danger can a tree be?
if anybody would like, you could give me a nature check to see what you would know about dangerous trees.
Alright,
I'm good at that one, but I'm not gonna, because this is funnier.
Wow.
Wow,
Beth loves her trees, apparently.
fair, fair.
Nope. How much danger could a tree be?
How much danger could a tree
To be fair, I'm probably being sarcastic there. I would imagine Sai would know a lot better than that,
My mind
having
is
spent
going...
any time at all in the Feywild.
Yeah. I'm thinking we're gonna get like Whomping Willowed. Fucking hell.
So you guys sort of look over at this oak, and it by itself doesn't seem like it is much of an issue. Looking over it, it doesn't seem like it has any sort of supernatural elements to it. You don't see any tree faces or anything like that. It doesn't seem like there is anything like any odd movements. It just seems like it's a very large oak. But Mel, Woe, and Raz, as you're sort of inspecting it, you notice that there is, in fact, a large sort of off to the other side of where Beto is sitting. You see that there is a large sort of scrape of just large slashes across the back of this tree. And the three of you would realize that that indicates that something has claimed this tree as its own and may or may not be protective of this area.
Danger tree. This is not our place to rest tonight.
This tree is a message. The message says go away.
Probably not
I
the
think
best
we should
place to
move,
set camp.
I love that.
I think we should move like 100 yards that way,
Okay.
which is any direction but here.
Or
And
east.
Evan, specifically, you would know that that is like the sign of a dire bear in the area. So it's like like a massive bear, that for whatever reason, be it magical or evolutionary, has developed like spikes out of its fur and armor plating. It's like a bear turned up to 11. They are very, very dangerous
roid bear.
creatures.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. That's from a big bear. When I say big bear, I mean big bear eat me in one gulp.
We're very tiny.
So maybe not be here when he comes back.
It's
Or
close to
she.
evening.
Oh God! If it's got cubs, let's get the hell out of here.
Probably not the smartest thing.
Okay.
More east.
So can I get a group stealth check to find a place away from this tree that is hidden from something that might be trying to stalk this area?
Centaur burr.
Also, Elle, make sure that you're clicking your
Mhm.
skills, not just the stats themselves.
Oh shit. Yeah, you're right. That's what I fucked up earlier.
There we go.
It's worse.
So overall, you guys have a bunch of successes, so you're able to sort of get Beetle away from the area and sort of quiet them down, even though their armor is like bouncing around on them, and you manage to carefully pull them off to the side, thankfully. But yeah, you guys find a sort of quiet, nestling area to out of the way of any of the more dangerous looking trees in the area. And you manage to set up a small camp. So I have to ask, because, you know, as a DM, and it's my job to ask this question, are you guys all going to sleep for the night?
I will sit
Mm.
watch.
I mean, I only need to sleep for 4 hours.
I haven't used no spells. I'll take Beta will take a watch. Just
Shifts.
tinkering.
8 hours of sleep, 2 hours each.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds fair.
I can take 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
We're 2 and 2.
Who's going on first watch?
Who wanted first watch?
I can do first watch.
I'll take second.
Rude.
I'll take third.
Uh,
I'll go last.
you'll take fourth and fifth. Okay.
Fourth and
Uh,
fifth.
yeah. So say Mel only needs to sleep for 4 hours because elf. So she can actually take a lot more of the shift than other people might need.
Okay.
I'm going to turn and climb my head. Thank you very much. Make it a lot easier for the rest of us.
So as the quiet of night sets in, you all sort of begin to drift off in your own sort of way. Sigh as you're sitting there looking out into the distance or making sure nothing's going bump in the night. Can you roll me a perception check, please? Okay. So you sort of keep your ears peeled and sort of listen off into the distance.
In a manner of speaking, ears peeled anyway. That sounds
Sorry,
most uncomfortable.
is that? Yes, of course. You keep your ears open, sort of listening off in the distance, and as you're sort of listening, you do hear something off and away from you, sort of stalking through the woods, and you hear the sound of trees bending to make way for this thing.
Is it coming in this direction?
It doesn't sound like it's coming in your direction, no, but it is moving through the forest still.
Hmm.
And it is
I'll let
moving
people
around the
sleep
area.
a bit longer unless it's definitely coming this way.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's heading your way, thankfully. So your time eventually ends. Who is taking second walk?
Me,
Okay.
the human, the lame human.
Evan. So here's my question to you.
Yeah.
Are you keeping watch with a fire, or are you keeping watch just with the night sky? Or do you have like a light spell or something that you're keeping watch with?
I am keeping watch with a light spell as soon as I figure out where my spells are. That's not my spells.
Should be the last page of your thing.
If you go up to the top where your name is and go right, there should be like a little spells tab.
No.
So right underneath where it says experience points, or
Oh,
there
there it
is,
is. I found
yeah,
it. Okay.
there you go.
Nope, I'm using a torch.
Okay,
Or
so you just
fire.
have a very small fire type thing.
Light.
And so can I get you to roll me a perception check just real quick?
Yep. Ah! Pretty fire. I like the pretty light.
Yeah, you don't see anything, you don't really hear anything. It's really hard for humans to really watch for anything in the darkness because more or less you guys are pretty much blind when it comes to dark. But the fire is giving you a little bit of a leeway here. Even with your 5, you do hear off in the distance the sound of the trees rustling and something moving uh, in the distance.
Okay. I guess just sit through my shift unless something comes towards us.
Yeah,
Not
you
gonna worry
don't
about
see
it.
anything. You don't see anything get anywhere close to you. So, oh,
Oops, sorry.
the entirety of the find familiar spell.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking how you add the familiar to the sheet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So,
Familiars get their own little sheet, if I'm not mistaken.
yes. Give me 1 second here. So, what is your find familiar again?
Just ow.
Owl. All right.
Yeah, that's the point. I ought to find out how to do this.
Actually, because I can do a load of shit with them.
Owl. There. In player's journal, Surya can be edited and controlled by Surya. Wait, howdy, that just has no. Does your owl have a name?
Minerva.
Minerva?
Yes.
As in
Okay.
McGonagall.
Yes.
I was thinking it was in the Greek goddess.
I mean, so was I, but I couldn't resist the urge to bring in a Harry Potter reference.
And
Love the series, hate the author.
that's fair.
Yes, that is exactly true.
That's a cat. That's for Alara. Just for real quick here. And nameplate. Okay, yeah, there we go. All right, so we have
Hilarious.
that stuff.
All of the little animal companions are all predators, and it's funny to me. We could all equally kill each other.
Huh?
So
Weasels are actually very vicious in the wild.
I
This
think my
seems to
snow
be.
owl.
Yes. The weasel seems to be very well tamed. It's likely been born in captivity, kind of thing.
All of the critters in the weasel's family have the capability, if trained right or just allowed to do their instincts. I know a mink has killed a swan before.
Yeah, they will overwhelm something big.
They got no fear in their body.
Nope.
I'm sure owls eats weasels.
I mean, yeah. All three are little predators, though. It's great.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, likely both that cat and the owl can just eat my weasel. She'd be very
I think the
upset.
owl will win.
Yeah, the owl versus weasel usually wins. Just you guys don't see it when she sleeps at all. It's nowhere to
just
be found.
just gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
It's fair.
It's gone.
So who is taking third watch?
Me.
Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
So third watch.
Mhm.
Roll me a perception check. Also, are you doing it in the darkness or are you
Complete
taking
darkness.
complete darkness?
Yep, I have dark vision.
Okay.
So, all right.
Okay. So you hear the same thing, sort of trundling off in the distance. But overall, it sounds like it's dying down and getting like further away from you guys. But there is like sort of a distinct smell of like fire in the air, but it's like on the wind, not like very close to you guys.
Do I see any fire in the distance?
So like looking around off in the distance, you do see like flickering flames a while away from you, but it is like probably 200 feet. Like it like you think you see fire off in the distance. You're not like 100% sure, but there is light flickering off in the distance there.
Does it look bigger than a campfire?
Yeah, for you to be able to see it at this distance, it would have to be.
Okay. I will just keep vague watch on it while I'm sitting there. If it seems to, if the smell gets any worse, I'll wake people up.
And it doesn't. It doesn't seem to be getting any worse. But there is this sort of just crisp smell on the wind, as it were.
That's a question. What season are we in?
It is autumn, like fall.
Okay. Is it cold?
It's not cold, but it's like getting there, you know?
Okay.
The leaves are starting to change color, so it's like getting to be a colder season.
Alright, I don't seem perturbed by this then.
Okay. And so to sort of round us out, Mel, would you like to give me a perception check really quick?
Where is it?
Okay. So you get the sort of same lay of the land. The sound is completely dead at this point. Like you don't hear anything in the forest. But as you're sort of looking around, you look out into where I assume Woe would have like pointed out the like fire. You sort of watch and you think you see it like flickering, and you think you see things around the fire, but you don't know what. And as the sort of night goes on and it sort of rolls into morning, you watch as the fire dies and whatever was there is gone.
Interesting. And she's just petting Minerva. Because he's measuring her.
Yeah, all right. So morning comes. You guys all awake. It's a quiet morning once more. What do you guys do?
Breakfast.
Yeah.
Breakfast.
Stop. You guys see the weasel come out of the grass nearby and disappear into her hair?
Breakfast.
Yeah, it seems to have gotten its breakfast.
It dined on cobra eggs. No, or something.
Yeah, it went and ate something at night, apparently.
I just eat some bread and jerky or something like that.
Okay, yeah, just sort of like hardtack and stuff.
Yep.
Ito does not seem to be eating. They seem to be working on whatever is underneath the cloth. They are sitting where you cannot see, but they're doing stuff.
Only I don't want to know.
Well, if everybody chips in like a little bit, she will make like a breakfast porridge or something.
Sai will happily chip in for breakfast porridge.
Same.
Same.
I like the way everyone's reaction to, hey, actual food.
I'm a mess kid, so yeah.
Vito's focused. Vito don't know what's going on.
What are you working on over there?
Violence.
No response. Apparently.
Oh, wonderful. She just cleans the mess kit up after everybody's eaten. And she gets ready and she has her maul and her shield ready to go.
Okay. So you guys head off once more, off into the east, making your way through the fields, getting out of the woods. You're into a sort of more open area now. And as you're sort of walking around, you notice fairly obviously that the fire that was set the night before that Woe had seen, looking over and around the area, um, there's like definite scorch marks on the ground, and there seems to be like piles of bones just sort of left around these scorch marks.
Wonderful.
And as you're sort of like looking at it, there is the smell of burned dead bodies on the air as you're getting closer to it.
Well, that looks less than promising.
Not very welcoming.
Does it look like caster fire or something like that? Like somebody cast magic here?
No, it seems like natural flame.
That's odd.
Do the skulls look humanoid or canine or deer?
Most of the skulls here seem like they are more canine in origin, but there are a few like humanoid skulls, yeah. If you like begin like looking at them very closely. Yeah.
I will start to pick around the bones.
Okay. You're gonna poke at the bones?
Yeah, poke at the bones and see if there's anything in there other than bones that
All
might
right.
indicate what happened.
Roll an investigation check for me.
Oh, I'm crap at that. Well, it's not a negative, so that's at least something.
Okay. So you begin poking at the bones. Are you doing this with your hand, or are you like got
My
like
weapon.
a weapon? Yeah. Okay. So you sort of like move to like shift a skull over, and you just sort of smash it with your with your weapon, and sort of begin moving stuff around like rather haphazardly.
No,
Uh,
really? Oh, okay. Because of my roll. Yeah. Okay.
like like it's not like you're completely blundering around. Like I assume that you're like moving stuff, but like you start to realize when you're like poking at it with your weapon that your weapon is just like breaking through stuff very very easily, like easier than it should for most bone. You've been to war, and you know that it takes a fair amount of force to actually break bone. Uh, whereas this, you like tapped a skull with your mace, or yes, mace, your weapon.
It's a mace at the moment. Yes.
Yes. So you sort of tap it with your mace at the moment, and you tap it, and it sort of caved in, like it was already sort of turning to dust.
Does that seem unusual?
That
It seems,
does seem unusual.
yeah.
Mm.
Could I reason that maybe all this fire weakened the bone?
I mean,
Can Mel have a look as well? She can
Yeah.
just poke him with her own stuff.
if you're interested in doing it, by all means, roll an investigation check.
Sorry.
No worries.
Seeing it disintegrate like that, I think I'd probably want to do the same.
Okay, roll an investigation check for me as well. All right. So how are you guys moving through this? Are you also like using
Poking it with my quarterstaff.
okay, so with a quarterstaff and stuff?
I'm actually like I've bent down and I'm just like gently poking at it
With your little bunny hands?
with my little bunny hands. Yes.
Okay, fair enough. I just had to make sure that for the record, it was little bunny hands. So
I mean, I'm pretty sure they look like normal people hands, but yeah, sure, little bunny hands.
How do you message GM?
uh it's like /whisper or something, but you can just message me on Discord if you really want to.
Okay.
So Mel, you begin poking around and looking at this stuff, and you find that the start of the burning, like the central point of burning, seems to have come from one of these bodies. So while it did appear to be natural flame, it doesn't seem like it was a fully natural cause that did it.
Mm.
And as you're sort of looking around, you see that there is wood and stuff here for like a pyre, but it definitely seems like the actual like wood itself didn't do much help in setting these bones ablaze.
Mm.
Looking over the general area, Sai, you get a feeling that this was done very deliberately, and while you don't have proof of it, it does seem like it's a very almost ritualistic way of doing this, as opposed to um uh ritualistic way instead of just sort of random carnage, if that makes sense.
Religion?
I mean, depending if they're sharing that or
I don't like the look of this, and I am going to tell them what I see.
not.
Hey.
Raz, or well, Evan, my apologies. Would you mind, like, are you interested in like rolling religion to sort of check things out, see
Yeah,
if
to
there's
see if
any
this,
significance?
yeah, is this a cleansing ritual? Is this a
Okay.
yeah?
Yeah. Roll religion for me. Uh, Beto, for the thing that you're wanting to do, just roll me a sleight of hand really quick.
What is that? Okay. Like privately to you or out in the
No,
open?
just roll it. Okay. I just need to check something really quick. Just real quick. Real quick. Okay. So Evan, as you're sort of like looking at this, actually, Beetle, roll that one more time and we'll take the higher of the two.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Evan, as you're sort of looking over this and trying to figure out if there is any like cultural significance to this that you can sort of figure out, um nothing in your mind sort of clicks in. Like, this is very much not a human based religion, and I don't know if you've spent a particular long time learning about the other sort of pantheons.
Not so much.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like a human based religion, and at best this seems like something um that would be more in line with those who worship the hells more than
Sorry.
actual gods. You're okay.
Okay. Before we leave, I want to do something else, but I want everyone else to make. I want to make sure that everybody else has got their can do their thing.
What was just keeping watch because this all looks pretty sus.
Mm-hmm. Well, give me a perception check. Yeah, this seems pretty sus. There doesn't seem to be anything off in the distance that you can really like see. Like, there's no tracks or anything around here of whatever was here. It's just bones, fire, ash, and the road, more or less.
All right.
So, does anybody else have anything they would like to check or try or what have you?
Detect, what it was? Detect poison and disease.
Detect poison or disease.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you cast a spell? And what does Evan's magic look like when she casts it? Is it like you saying a prayer and the ability goes out, or is it just sort of an innate ability that you can do and you ask for those abilities like when you wake up in the morning?
Oh, well, she definitely. I gotta do that. She prays in the morning for her spells,
Mhm.
but it's also she offers up, a prayer either before or right after as a sort of, plea and a thank you
Mhm.
for the ability to, to be able to do these things. She's very respectful of her faith. Hey, stop that! No, that's my chair.
All right,
I'm
so
glad I'm
you
not the only one accosted by a cat right now.
so you begin sort of like casting the spell, and is there anything particular that you're casting it on, or just in the area type thing?
Um, in the center of, well, it's up to, let's see, what does it say? Oh, actually, wait. Oh, okay. It's I cast it on myself, and it
Mhm.
allows me to sense the presence and location of poisons, poisonous creatures, and diseases within 30 feet.
Okay, so you cast it on yourself, and it sort of spreads out from you, and as you're sort of like feeling the area, you don't feel any diseases, and it doesn't seem like any poison was used here. Um, it doesn't seem like anything like that has been used.
Okay. Well, that's at least a relief.
Can I do something by any chance?
Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna go ahead and divine sense. I'm gonna step
Okay.
out of the clearing and divine sense. And that should be the presence of strong evil. Registers on my senses, and it's within 60 feet. Uh, Seeing if there is anything still lingering here, celestial fiend or undead.
Okay. So you sort of open your senses as Evan is sort of checking for the poison or disease of the area. And as you're sort of taking that breath in, and you focus, you obviously you get a hit off of your friends. There are 3 Fae with you, so you get a little bit of that. But there doesn't seem to be any celestial. There isn't any undead. And you always sort of get a whiff of fiend off of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But as you're breathing in, it's like breathing in sulfur. There's this terrible sort of rotten egg smell that like invades your nose, and you have to like take a moment to stop and like cough, and your eyes are watering just a little bit from the sting. And as you're sort of looking around, you know that like at the very least a fiend caused this fire.
Okay. I will relay that. So it looks like we have the work of a fiend here.
Interesting.
It
What is
stinks.
it? Is
Goody.
what's the definition of a fiend exactly?
I look at myself and I kind of vaguely gesture, except a lot less pleasant. I'm only considered partially fiend.
Huh. Okay. think.
Would I know
Like-
enough about fiends to relay this to her? Because I kind of wanted to look into myself a little bit.
Yeah. Give me a religion check at advantage, given your history with fiends and the whatnot.
19.
Okay, good. So you know that fiends are sort of subcategorized into demons and devils. Demons are from the abyss, and they are sort of the destruction of man. They are the thing that will end all of existence if given the opportunity, and they are constantly ever spawning from the hatred of the universe. They are infinite, they are coming, and it is only a matter of time. This is like word for word the words that you have sort of learned about the abyss.
Great.
Um,
Other than that, they're fantastic neighbours.
just wonderful. Speaking of their neighbors, there is the seven hells, which are ruled by archdevils. The devils themselves reside in the hells. They are the twisted desire of those who walk the plains. They are individuals who seek to twist and test the souls of mortals to do their bidding. And when those who don't don't hold up their end of the bargain end up in terrible fates, and those who do usually also end up in terrible fates. um Looking at this destruction, at this sort of chaos of a scene, you have a feeling that this is something from the abyss. This is something that is preternaturally just wanton destruction.
I relay this in a little, in woe terms, so to speak, but close enough to that, what they are.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't sound happy.
Woe blinks. Exactly. That's why nobody likes me. She states very bluntly. She's
Everybody hates me. She's gonna eat
Yeah.
some worms.
Yeah, she seems very. This is how it is. That is why. About her blood.
Mm-hmm.
So, now that that is there, I believe we shouldn't linger because unfortunately demons seem to be not very polite upon meeting.
I hope he plans on paying us extras for this part.
Provided we don't die.
I
I'm
would
not gonna die.
prefer not.
I'm not gonna die.
We must make an effort towards such things, obviously.
Mm-hmm. So, are you guys leaving the scene? Is everybody good there?
Yep.
Good. So you guys make your way away, and as you're sort of wandering forward,
Don't do it.
you guys make your way forward for a while, keeping in mind to keep track of things. Beto, can you get me a survival check again?
Wee, this is fun.
Okay.
Aha!
So as you're sort of walking down the path, you look around and you spot what is very clearly a wolf's den off to the side of the road. And you are very aware that it is a wolf's den because you hear inside of it the sound of wolves enjoying the labors of a hunt.
Does sound like a dead
Oh,
giveaway,
puppies.
certainly.
Slush, slush, crunch, 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 slush, slush.
I would RQ, that's the wolves we saw on the map near the tree and means stay away.
I second that.
Yeah, seems most sensible.
Indeed.
Okay.
Okay. Can I get a group stealth check to avoid the wolves?
Creep.
Mm,
Oh my goodness. I don't know what number is what.
Wow, I
don't
must
think
have
we're
rolled
avoiding them.
badly.
Yep. So, wolves, guys, are you guys ready?
How
So-
did the heavy armored person roll better than the others?
Here's the thing. I've got a +8 and I rolled a 12.
Well, I've got a +4 and I rolled a 6.
I don't
rolled a
know what I
2.
rolled because my heavy armor does the split thing and it confuses the fuck out of me.
So you rolled a 10 plus 2, and then you also rolled an 18 plus 2, but it takes the smaller of the two, so you just roll a 12.
Oh, because I roll with stealth at disadvantage because my heavy armor.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
Okay, let me just grab a map here. You know, nothing huge, nothing major. It's just,
Some wolves.
little thing.
Just a small, tiny little, no real significant.
Oh, I want to
Yeah.
point out the entire time we've been traveling, Beetle looks like they are not armed at all, just armored.
Will's very perturbed about this because she's got her maul in her hand and her shield on at all times. You don't worry.
There. Okay. Let me just find those.
Did Beetle forget their weapons? We'll find out.
Join us for the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Oh my god, like 10
Oh,
episodes
God.
later, Beto is still finding her weapons.
The only thing Beto has is armor, a messenger bag, and a cart that you can see.
And one powerful kick.
Yes.
Do you actually have a kick weapon? That'd be great to weaponize.
I have hooves.
Yup.
Hooves are natural melee weapons, which you can use to make unarmed strikes.
Yeah, in one of my last campaigns, I used my warhorse to get through people, and it was devastating.
I have charge as a racial trait.
Oh wow,
It's great.
that's fucking amazing.
I am a mage that should not be as armored as I am. And it's great.
Get that out of your mouth! Get that out of your mouth! What is that?
And we're just going to throw that one in there for
Are you
fun.
serious? Get that out of
All
your
right.
mouth. Get rid
So
of it. Get rid of it.
that should take you guys over to another map.
Woo.
Yay!
Well,
That's
then.
the big wolves.
Those are likely dire wolves.
Aw. Sai's name is spelt wrong, but oh well.
Is it?
Sai, not Sao.
XAI or XAU, I think.
Oh,
S-A-I.
all right.
S-A-I.
SAI
Yeah.
Technically, the X would be correct, but I really don't
is
want
in
to
the
try and
character
remember how
lore
to
channel.
spell that. It's stupid early.
It is okay. There we go. Save changes. All right. So As you guys are sort of trying to sneak past the den, you sort of begin to hear a sniffing sound before a loud howl is released from within the den, and a pack of wolves descend upon you. They appear to be coated in some sort of blood, and definitely do not seem like they are intent on stopping their feast for anything.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Anyone else fancy either hitting these things or running? Personally, I'm voting towards running.
Of course, the rabbit would.
Provided we can get away.
Also, I should probably have these reversed, actually. Also, feel free to, like, put yourselves where you would be on the map.
Are we traveling to the left?
You are headed east, so you are heading this way. Yeah.
Alright.
You guys managed to get past the thing with the wolves on your heels.
Okay, so they're following us, right?
Yeah, they seem to be following you.
Do they seem aggressive?
They are seem very aggressive. Yes.
They've
I
just
will-
eaten as well.
Well, would have seen that and moved to the back of the pack.
Okay.
If you
Over
all
here.
wish to go, you might want to.
I'll have to deal with these on the way back.
I think they're better to just get rid of. Rose getting her shield up and to the side.
Ito's gonna swing around and quick release the cart and pull a spear out of the messenger bag.
Yeah, he watches almost in a like goofy move, they like pull a full spear out of this very small side satchel.
Can Rose slap herself on the chest and cast armor back at this?
Well, I'm going to say no, because we're gonna go into initiative now. I was just sort of letting you guys place where you guys want to be. Alright, so everybody roll initiative for me. Oh, so make sure you're targeting your actual thing when you roll initiative, and it will add it to the tracker. So feel free to
okay,
just
Can I re-roll it? Or?
yeah, click. Feel free to click. So, click on Evan here.
On the map.
Yeah,
Click
on the
your
map.
little icon and then hit initiative, and it adds it to a little tracker.
Yeah, just so
Oh,
it's
the-
easier for.
Mine's lower.
Okay, and I'm just going to edit these real quick. Okay, so Lara, you have 8. Evan has 11. Okay, there we go. And blip,
I had rolled a 7.
you had rolled a 7? Okay. Then
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I see it. And blip. Perfect. Perfect. Alright. So, starting us off, this combat is Woe. What would you like to do?
I'd like to cast armor back at this.
Okay,
Myself.
yeah. Cast Argus of Rapus.
Yes.
Armor of Agus on yourself.
Yeah. And then I will... Good.
So, like, what does that look like? Is it just like you tap yourself and your armor becomes like chilled, or is it like, is there more to it?
There is definite a sudden gather of moisture that appears in the air and rushes to her, and it suddenly freezes out into spikes all over her.
Okay, so you become extra spiky.
Shiny.
Okay.
I will take 2 steps forward, prepare my
Okay.
shield, and Maul kind of like come at me. In other words,
Trying to make yourself look like a appealing target.
oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Buffet in Tiefling.
All right. So, let me see. All right, so we're gonna go here. Gonna rush forward over here.
This is a quick reminder to myself. I can throw my spear, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Your spear is charged with return, so you can
Yes.
throw that. All right, so the wolf is going to attack. A 5 doesn't hit.
No.
So the wolf like rushes forward towards you and like snaps at you, and you're able to just sort of like pull away and like block it with your shield as it begins to snap at your heels. All right, dire wolf's turn. Let's see here. So it's gonna make its way over here. There's like massive, one of the 2 massive wolves rush forward, just pounding into the ground, snarling as it runs forward. This one is going to make its way over here. All right. Attack. So we got 1 attack against Evan and 1 attack against Woe. So first attack against Woe is going to be at advantage because it has an ally within 5 feet of you. 22 to hit. Okay. You're going to take 10 points of piercing damage and make me a saving throw, please.
Which one?
Strength saving throw. Sorry. All right, you succeed. You're not knocked prone. Can you give me how much damage does Armor of Agathis do?
Give me 1 second. Oh, I
Yep.
get 5 temporary hit points. If a creature hits me with a melee attack while I have these hit points, the creature takes 5 cold damage. So he takes 5 cold damage.
Okay. So it immediately cuts out the Armor of Agathis as well, so you only took 5 points of damage if you want to add that back.
Yep.
And with a yelp as it sort of pulls back away from you, its mouth now sort of frostbitten by the cold encounter with your armor, the wolf snarls at you.
It's a very bad idea.
Evan, the massive wolf in front of you reaches forward, snarling, and whips to try and bite you. 8 will not hit, however. As it sort of snaps at you, it sort of... Are you casting shield on
No,
yourself?
no.
Okay, cool. Just
I
wanted to
think
make
she
sure.
was looking at it.
Yeah, that's totally fair. So the wolf snaps forward to try and bite at you, but you're able to pull away before it's able to really sink its teeth into you.
Not today, puppers.
So Evan, you are now up.
Aha! I'm going to attack said pupper that tried to chomp me.
All right.
Defeat Chompy Papa.
Which one is the chompy? Okay, this one right.
So this one's the one that attacked you. Yeah.
Chompy puppy. Yes, I shall attack said pupper. So what do I have to do to attack? Do I have to click on
Yeah,
him, or
just no, you just click on the weapon that you're wanting to attack with.
okay. We are attacking with the mace. I'm
Uh,
going to add.
You're
Guided strike to it.
okay. So you're gonna add your 10 to it.
Yep.
All right. So 18 will hit.
Okay.
All right. So just push the mace down there, and it will deal the damage for you.
Say that again. What?
So in the little text box there, just hit the word mace, and it'll roll damage for you. All right. 9. So. All right. Oh, you guys can't see that just yet. There. So as you sort of, it like snaps forward to try and take a bite out of you, you quickly whirl around with your mace and slam it into the side of this thing's head, and it like yelps and pulls back, and then like snarls at you with a renewed fervor.
I'm going to make another attack.
Okay.
War Priest, when you use the attack action, you can make one weapon attack as a bonus action.
Alrighty.
I will attack again.
Attack again for me.
Character.
Bashy, bashy.
Normal roll.
20 will hit.
Woohoo! Hit the mace.
10 more
Woohoo!
damage. Alright.
Nice. It's max damage.
I'm being useful.
So yeah, you just hit it once real quick, and then on the backswing you smack its face in once more, and it like snarls as it pulls back and like growls looking at you, readying for whatever is to come next. Alright, Mel, what would you like to do?
The big wolf, I'm going to cast magic missile on it.
Magic missile.
Yeah.
Alright. You casting that just at first level, or are you gonna...
Yeah, first
Okay.
level. How's it? You just click that, is it? Nope.
So is there like a way you can cast it? Let me just pull out your
There we go.
character. There we go. So you're gonna have to roll that 3 times.
Ah.
Ooh, spicy. So 7, 9. So those are all at this one here.
Yeah.
Okay. So what does it look like when Mel casts magic? Is it like a very practiced thing, or is it just sort of she
Refined.
wills magic into
It's
existence?
refined like it's natural.
Okay. So we watch as Mel sort of sweeps her hand through the air, and we watch as 3 sort of arcane circles follow the like curve of her arm as she swings them out, and the circles spike in a moment, and 3 bolts of force shoot forward and slam into the side of the dog as it growls loudly, its eyes in a red fervor as it is pounded by attacks from all angles. Is there anything else you would like to do on your turn, or are you good?
No, there's nothing else I can really do, so I'm all good.
Okay. Sai, it is now your turn. What would you like to do? Also, so unless stated otherwise, I assume that you guys have your animal companions on you and not in combat. So if you want me to bring out the animal companion, just tell me and I'll put it out in the field.
Sorry, don't mind me.
No worries.
I was trying to check how something worked and I hit the wrong button.
Does Bippa count as an animal companion?
Bippa?
My cannon.
No.
So would I be right in thinking I could hit a stealth attack on that big wolf because it's in combat with someone else?
Yes, that is how that works.
So it's roll to hit first.
So yeah, you're gonna run up. Are you running up to the one closer to you, or are you gonna try and
The
get over to
closer
this
one.
one?
The
Okay.
closer one.
Yeah. So you slide on up and roll an attack for me.
Is the roll to hit the hit dice one?
No,
Or
it's
no.
the actual like attack item in the no worries, Raz. It's the actual item in your character sheet.
Whatever your weapon is.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's the to hit, not the damage.
Yes.
So I think, do I with sneak attack? Would I just hit the modifier, or
Okay.
do I hit the thing I'm hitting with first?
You can add the modifier since it like you only have one attack per turn anyways. So yeah, you can just click the little modifier and then just roll your attack.
Because if I hit the modifier, it literally just gives me a single score.
Holy shit.
Like, because
Yes.
I hit it by accident earlier.
Yeah.
So it's just giving me a 2d6, not an actual.
No. So you're gonna click the little button beside sneak. So there, you should see a check mark beside it right now.
Oh, there's a check mark. Yes.
So yeah, if you click that check mark, it'll turn on or off. You want it
Yep.
on, and then you just roll your attack.
So just hit sneak. So it's not a to hit. So that is the to hit.
Yes.
Uh,
So you're
Is
gonna.
that rolling 2d6? That's my point. It's not.
So what you're gonna do is you're going to pull up. What are you attacking with? Your rapier, your short bow.
Rapier.
Okay, so press the rapier button. All right. So 12 misses, unfortunately. But in the future, now click the rapier button on the text box thing in the chat there, like the actual word rapier in the text box. Oh, no, in the chat function.
Oh, hold on. So.
Yes.
Ah,
So
I
now-
getcha.
Yes. Now
So
it'll
the
do.
button is the to hit, and then clicking that is the damage.
Yes.
Got it.
So yeah, you swing forward with your rapier, and the beast, after taking so many blows, growls and sort of pulls away, barely dodging your attack, but very much still a threat in the current moment. Beto, it is your turn.
It's my turn?
Assuming, sorry, Sai, is there anything else you would like to do before?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. Then Beto, it is your turn.
Cool. With the end of their spear, they're going to tap the cart and say, Pippa, wake up. And a small-sized cannon with legs detaches from it and climbs up onto their back. And they're going to... I'm assuming this is the button to... How do I move?
So you're
The
gonna
movement thing.
grab your just click on your token, and then you can just move it wherever you want on the field, obviously within 30 feet of yourself, or
Okay.
whatever your movement speed is.
And they're going to move here, and because Bippa currently has Force Ballista, that's what I'm creating with it, is a bonus action to make my cannon do things?
Well, let's see. What does it say on your sheet? Eldritch Cannon. You're the one. Third level, you learn how to create a magical cannon. 5 feet, small, occupy the same space. Tiny, on hand. Create a cannon. And a magical artifact. AC, hit points, is immune to poison, ability checks, hit points, disappears if it was reduced to 0 after 1 hour, dismiss it early as an action, creature whether it has legs, and also determine which type of choosing your knowledge you can. On each of your turns, you can use a bonus action to cause the cannon to activate. If you are within 60 feet of it, which you are, as part of the same bonus action, you can direct the cannon to walk, climb, or up to 15 feet of an occupied space, provided it has legs. So, you are going to use your bonus action to make a ranged spell attack originating from the cannon at one of the creature's objects within 120 feet of the target. Deal 2d8 force damage on hit and pushing the creature. Do you have... No. Okay, let me give you... What is the name of your cannon again?
Bippa.
Bippa?
Yeah, BIPA.
All right, so right now you have a force ballista Bippa in your attack thing, and you can use that as you see fit.
It's gonna shoot at. How do I do the ping?
So you're gonna left click where you want to ping, and just hold it.
I'm gonna shoot this one.
The furthest back one? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, roll to hit.
And then a clicky. And that's clicking on the item name?
Yeah, in your attacks, you just click the item name.
Okay.
All right. It auto roll damage for whatever reason.
I have no idea why.
Okay, that's fine. It does hit. And so you guys watch as Beto taps this thing on their cart. A small, like, mechanical creature pulls up onto their back, and a cannon is leveled at one of these wolves, and you watch a blast of arcane force fire out of the cannon and hit one of the dogs with a loud as it, like, it's pushed back and is just, like, ragdolled onto the ground, just, like, snapping and snarling as it's trying to, like, make its way back up onto its feet.
Well, I've got to say that's new.
A little extreme.
It is those that look, which is probably Mel at this point, can see that it's the same color as the odd-looking stone from the wheels of the cart, but there's grooves in it that's pulsing like a icy blue color.
Hmm. Interesting.
It looks adorable but terrifying.
All right. Do you want to do anything with your action, or are you good there?
The action was pulling the active, bringing up the cannon. It's an action to summon it.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, you do that, and are you good with where you are, or do you want to move it?
That is, I moved to there so I could set up my next turn.
Okay. Whoa, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Point at this one.
Okay.
You are my enemy. I vow of enmity.
Okay. Marked for death.
That gives me advantage on it. I'm gonna pump a Divine Smite into this one.
Okay. Roll to attack. Yeah, that'll hit. Okay. So that is 19 points of damage. Not bad, not bad.
And her spell is once again oddly frost, but at the same time, kind of green around the edges. Not sickly, but like warm, almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She'll just buck up her shield and get ready for the next round. She thinks her companions have the one behind well handled. She wants to be a target.
So is it like there is now a green aura radiating off of this wolf that you are like focused on?
Mixed with frost. It's very light green. It's almost like when winter fades into spring.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So this wolf takes this hit and is rocked by the divine fury of your maul as it sort of like drops to the ground, but then raises back up and snarls at you, getting ready for its next attack. Okay, so from here,
did my Divine Smite roll right?
Yep.
It's 2d8 plus. I only see one die though. Weird.
Yeah, it's 2d8, and then also 2d6 for your maul.
Well, weird.
Okay. So
Wait.
5, 10. Yes.
On the rolling 2d8.
It's only 1d8.
No, it's 2d8. If you roll over it, it's 2.
You can't roll a 1 on 2d8.
Yeah, you'd have to roll a 2.
It's a 1 and a 5.
Oh, okay. You're right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I get it. I was confused.
I thought the 5 was a bonus or something.
So did I. I'm sorry.
2, 3, 4, 5.
We're learning.
It's fine.
I've
Don't
never
worry.
played a paladin before.
Never make that mistake again. Never question me again. I'm kidding. All right, so we're gonna get 2 bites at advantage against Woe. 23 will hit.
Yep.
8 piercing damage, and make a strength saving throw for me. Okay, so you are knocked prone.
Yep. Which is a funny thing to see.
So yeah, this wolf like rushes up and like snaps at your heel and pulls it out from under you, and you fall to the ground as the other one like leaps on top of you, having freshly singed from its blast of arcane force hitting it. 23 will also hit. And you're going to take 7 points more damage as it like starts biting into your flesh, getting around your armor. All right. So the one that just got sort of oh wait, my apologies. That is also one attack at advantage against Evan. 16 to hit. Does 16 hit your armor class?
That's a good question. Where's my AC? Aw, yeah.
Yeah, it does? Okay.
Good one.
So you're going to take 7 points of damage here. Roll me a strength saving throw, please.
I have to figure out where to... Oh. Where to subtract my hit points.
Oh, okay. So it... On your sheet...
The arrows?
1 second here.
Sorry.
No, you're okay. This is new for everybody. It's totally okay. Yeah, that the big 25 there,
Yep.
You're going to subtract it from that.
Okay.
All right.
And roll a strength saving check. Save.
Yep. Yes. Okay. So the wolf doesn't pull you off of your feet as it starts like ravaging one of your legs. However, this large wolf, having taken some damage from you and seeing what has been done to its mate, is going to pull away from you, Woe. Would you like to roll a attack of opportunity for me?
Absolutely.
Uh,
I think it's an advantage too, because I still have the vow on it.
it's straight because you're also knocked
Okay.
prone.
True. Can I roll?
Yep. An 8 will not hit, unfortunately.
That's fine.
This, like this. All right. We're gonna take a bite attack against Evan here. Also at advantage.
Ooh,
No, that's a crit.
damn it.
Ooh.
So you're gonna take oh, I didn't roll that great. 7 plus 5 is 12 points of damage. And I need you to make another strength saving throw for me.
Ugh.
Okay, so you are knocked prone.
Okay.
And we're gonna have the wolf make a single attack against our Eladrin friend because you were mean. 18 to hit.
I'm a wizard. What do you think?
All right, fair enough.
Wait, which wolf
What's
just
armor?
attacked me?
This one over here.
It already
The one-
attacked me.
Hmm.
That was
That's actually-
last turn. Yes.
Question, reaction. I can use that anytime, can't I?
Yes, you can use your shield whenever.
Yes, shield. No, doesn't work. Nope. That'd be +5.
Plus 5, which would make your AC 18 and defenders win, so you don't take any damage.
Woo.
Okay. Also, Evan, to answer your question, right?
Yeah.
So this one has just come around in its initiative, which is why it got the attack against you. This one was the one that was attacking Woe earlier and has
Okay.
rushed around and is attacking Mel, not you.
Which one's the one that attacked me before that?
This one over here.
Which one's the
That-
one that attacked me before that? Because I've
Yeah,
been
also-
attacked twice this round.
No, so this is the start of a new round.
No, I literally just got attacked twice.
Oh, this wolf. This wolf up here. This like
Oh,
very
okay.
small baby wolf
Oh, okay.
also attacked you. I
Okay.
apologize for misunderstanding what you.
That's okay. Okay,
Yes.
I gotcha.
All right, Evan, it is now your turn. What would you like to do? You are on the ground, current.
What are you into? You better just be going to the bathroom.
Sorry, didn't mean to do that.
No worries.
No, that's not what I want. I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay, that sounds like a pretty decent plan. Are you also going to stand up while you do that, or are you just going to lay on the ground?
If I can stand up, I will stand up.
Yes, standing up takes half of your movement, but you are able to stand up.
I stand and I cast.
All right, do the thing.
Now I have to figure out how to do this.
Should just have to, yeah.
I will cast it at second level.
All right, so you're gonna get 10 points of health back.
Yay, I'm not gonna die right now. Yet.
All right, and is there anything else you would like to do on your turn?
What do I have left for actions?
You have a bonus action, but I don't know if you have anything you can do with your bonus action.
Let me take a look. No, because I have to make an attack before I can use that.
Okay. Then going next, Mel, what would you like to do?
Each square is 5 foot, isn't it?
Yes, each square is 5 feet.
And I am going to bonus action this. Am I right?
Okay,
And it's
face
aimed at the
up.
one that's attacking me.
Teleport 30 feet into an unoccupied space that you can see. Once you use this trait, you can each additional effect of your season. Winter, when you use your face step, one creature of your choice you see within 5 feet of you. Wisdom saving throw. The one that just tried to bite you, correct?
Yes.
Okay. It succeeds.
Holy fuck. What's the
It succeeds so good.
1.
There is also a tape measure if you want to like check like your.
What do you use tape measure?
It's off to the side on that left little bar there.
It's got a little ruler on it with a circle around it.
Yeah.
That one. It doesn't go 30 feet.
I know. I apologize. I should have put it more in the middle.
Go down
there. Okay. You can move yourself down there if you would like. All right. So yeah, So what does it look like when you face step?
It's just like a poof and a slight bit of mist.
Okay. So there's just this
foggy mist. It's winter.
There is this moment of you like stepping through the veil of reality, and as you do, a form of ice coalesces in your general shape, and as you disappear out of it, the form takes on this hideous visage of a twisted monster, and the beast is just too hungry to really understand. And it manages to pull away from your ability. What would you like to do with the rest of your turn?
I will magic missile
that. All right. Still at first level?
Yeah.
Okay. And all of the same target? 4. 6. 9. Okay. So there's 3 more darts shoot out, rocketing into the side of this wolf, and it yelps as it sort of like staggers onto its legs, snarling at you hungrily, getting ready for its next meal. Pushed into a corner, as it were. Sigh, it is now your turn.
The one that I tried to hit last time.
Okay.
How do you ping again?
This, you just hold your left mouse button and just yeah.
I am going to once again attempt a sneak attack.
All right.
I have a rough idea what I'm doing.
Well, you gotta hit the rapier before you hit the.
Hit rapier first.
Yeah. All right, so 20 will hit. So now hit the rapier in the actual like chat bar thing there. All right, 18 damage.
Yikes.
So you thrust forward, and as this thing is harrying Evan, you slash forward with your rapier and push it through this creature's skull, and it just drops limply, just absolutely gone. Last breaths taken. what would you like to do with the rest of your turn?
I've done my attack. I'm
Would
just
you like
going
to move, or
I am just going to look around a bit and go, well, that went better than expected.
all right?
I'm just
Beto.
shaking the blood off the rapier.
Yeah, you do that
My
like
turn.
Kind of gory now.
yeah, you do that like swipe of through the air, and all of the blood just sort of dissipates off of the rapier.
Yeah.
Yes, Beto, is your turn.
Okay, so Beto's not gonna care about an AOO, but they're going to move to here
Okay.
by going like this way,
Mhm,
and then so I'm just gonna.
Does 19 hit your armor class? Yes.
Beto's armor class is 18 or 16, so yes, it's a dude.
Okay. So you're gonna take 4 points of piercing damage as this thing like nips at one of your hooves.
Okay.
Could you make me a strength saving throw?
Yes, I can.
Okay, yeah, you make it over to where you need to be.
And I'm going to use Thunder Wave
Ooh.
Okay.
to and angle it so that it hits these two wolves and not Woe.
Okay. Wait, is Thunderwave from you,
It
or
is from you. I don't think you can do it without hitting me.
Yeah. Where does it say? From you, yeah.
Yeah, I have my
Over
part.
thunderous. I've got the spell as well.
yeah? So it's 15 feet from you. So if you wanted to do that, you would have to be. I actually don't. You would have to be like over here. So it's sort of out of your range.
I wish there was a cone thing.
That's
The cone
Thunderclap. Yeah. Unfortunately, you would also hit Woe, but there's also a chance that you don't hit Woe.
That's a
Yeah.
con save.
Yeah.
This
Woe,
Trying to get them away from Woe.
Woe is a buff lady.
I am a buff lady.
She doesn't need no man.
I'm still gonna do it. Sorry, Phil.
Wait, actually, I will say it's a 15-foot cone, or a 15-foot thing from yourself. So it will also hit this wolf over here, but it will
It's a
also.
cone shape.
No, is it cone?
Thunder Wave. It's a 15-foot cube. Sorry, I thought it was cone.
Yeah, it's
I can't read.
cube centered on yourself. So it will also hit this wolf here, and Evan, and Sai.
Okay, I don't think I will do that.
That's why you being
I
an invocation
appreciate
wizard.
your forbearance.
But consider, would Beto do this thing with reckless abandon?
Ugh, now you have to bring logic into this thing.
So I am going to hit the washroom real quick, and then I'll let you guys decide on what you want to do.
So this is the first time I've had a character that is intelligent, but not wise at all.
Do it.
So the intelligence says this is a smart thing to do, and she doesn't have the wisdom to go, I shouldn't do this because there are allies in the vicinity.
I just healed myself. I'm good.
Do I have player consent?
I consent.
Do what you think your character would do. That's half the point of the game, isn't it?
Yep. Always do what your character would do.
Okay.
Character doesn't know a tomato doesn't go in a fruit salad.
I'm used to playing with people who would get mad if I didn't take into account their characters. So.
As far as I'm concerned, if it's something your character would do, and if someone says, "Hey, why are you doing that?" you can turn around and explain it. Go for it.
Okay.
Evan in another game, we have a goblin wizard who's really, really super powerful. Every time he's like, I'm gonna cast fireball. Oh, crap, it might hit Evan. Do it! I can take it! But they can't!
This is why I like being the evocation. Oh
Friendly
yay! I don't
fire.
get to hit people.
Well, this is also like a way for people to explain to Beto like some morals, maybe. They're not all there at the head.
It'll be
Things
like,
need die.
ow, that hurt, but that was so cool.
I return. My apologies for taking a bit there.
Okay, I'm gonna do the thunder wave.
Okay. So, can I get Woe, Evan, and Sai to all make Constitution saving throws real quick for me first? Okay,
Don't
Woe
know.
saves. Sai fails.
Terribly.
And Evan
Okay.
succeeds. So you're all going to take half, or so Woe and Evan are both going to take half damage from this and not be pushed back.
So I go flying.
I need this thing to stop fucking rolling in advantage. Okay, so 7 fails. 7 fails. 13
What is my
fails.
spell DC? I don't know.
Well, let's look at your character sheet here. You're going to go over to your spell section. And up at the top, right beside where it says intelligence, so it's 13. So that last wolf, this wolf over here, succeeds.
Okay.
So,
And then I roll the 2d8 thunder damage.
yes.
That's a level 1 spell, so.
Okay, so it's going to deal 10 damage. This wolf is going to go spiraling and just fall flat and not be breathing when it lands on the ground. This wolf is going to spiral as well, the perfect circle, and land on the ground but stand still, like it's still alive. This one is going to take 5 points of damage, still be on its feet. Woe and Evan, you're both going to take 5 points of damage.
Yep.
Sai, you're going to take the full 10 and be pushed back however many feet it pushes you back.
10 feet.
10 feet? So yeah,
Yeah.
you get pushed back 10 feet. So you are here now. Right next to that big cuddly wolf.
It's okay. I still have a bonus action.
Oh, great, the bunny is now next to the wolf. Very reassuring.
Bippa's firing at big boy here.
Okay. Then roll to attack for me.
If I'm right, changing your HP on the sheet changes your HP in the thingy,
Yep.
right?
12 will not hit.
Okay. I don't know
So-
why it's rolling the damage at the same time.
I don't know either. We'll check that later.
Also, just
but
to
y-
give you a heads up, I've probably only got about 45 minutes before I need to go get a bit more sleep.
Don't worry about it. We're almost done here. After the combat, we're gonna wrap things up.
Okay.
I'm appreciative of both you and Surya, so we're gonna make sure that things work for you guys, and we're not gonna push super late. Beto, is there anything else after your attack sort of whiffs there?
Nope.
No? All right. Whoa. You're on your ass. You just got blasted. What do you want to do?
Does lay on hands count as a bonus action, or is it an action?
Lay on hands is an action. It is a full action.
Alright. We'll go ahead and heal myself. I will pump 14 points of health into myself.
Fair. Do you also want to cure your dysentery while you're at it, or?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
And I will
Woe
stand
no
the
longer
hell
has
up.
dysentery.
Yeah, I will stand up and look minorly peeved, and this time it's more springtime magic casting around herself rather than ice.
Okay. Yeah. So you're ready for whatever comes your way. Is there anything you want to use your bonus action for? Or are you good?
Don't think I have any bonus actions.
Okay. Oh my god. Look at that. But
Oh my god.
all right, we're gonna go. This wolf is gonna run right up to Beto. As is this wolf. Evan, if you would like, you can use your reaction for an attack of opportunity. If you would like. If not, I would be more.
I have a 10-foot reach with my spear. Do I get any AOs on these things?
No. Running
Okay.
towards you, no. Running away from you, yes.
Okay.
I will take my.
It is
attack
different from
opportunity.
Pathfinder.
Okay. Roll.
Are there bonuses to that? I don't know.
Nope, it's just a straight attack.
Great attack.
And 11 will not hit, unfortunately. 2 attacks against Beto, both at advantage.
Also, Sleepy Kitten is
Bring it.
adorable.
Aw.
Sleepy Kitten has just curled up on my chest and shoulder in a ball.
Aw.
She's so cute.
So 20 will hit. You're going to take 10 points of piercing damage and make me a strength saving throw, please.
Who's that?
L.
Oh.
Yep. It ran away from you towards Beto to try and make up for its. So yeah, so Beto gets knocked prone. As one of the. Yeah, it like grabs your at one of your horse hooves and like yanks you down off of like onto your ground. Direwolf's turn. Direwolf is going to turn around, see the very fresh looking rabbit beside him, and be like, hey, why not? 23 to hit.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
12 points of damage as it like snaps its jaw into like the side of your body.
Well, I'm down to 5.
Ooh.
Make me a strength saving throw, please.
And
Yeah,
I
that'll
do feel
succeed.
I should say my strength is -1, so holy
Yeah,
shit, really?
A 17 will do.
What the hell?
Um,
How the hell did I
Sorry,
get lucky enough to roll
Sorry,
an
Alara.
18?
All right.
No, that's fine. You're just going to TPK me before we've even started.
All right, Evan, what would you like to do?
Just a second. Let me take a look at something real quick.
Yeah, no worries. As a reminder, Surya, you're up next.
Mm-hmm.
I can move 4 squares, yes?
Yes, I believe so.
Wow,
Can I
you
move
sound
my own
like a-
character?
Absolutely.
Okay. And then I cast Cure Wounds
On
on
side.
Sai.
Okay.
So I will totally take that and be very grateful for the heal.
Okay.
Oh,
So that is 12 damage healed for side.
let's see. And I got 1 level 2 spell left.
Yay.
No, killing the bunnies.
Sai turns and gives a little bow.
Yay! Buddy bow.
Anything else on Evan's turn, or are you good?
She didn't attack. So I'm still not familiar with how actions work in 5e, so what do I have left that I can do?
Well,
Cast another spell, or
unless it is a cantrip with a cast of a bonus action, then no.
okay,
I don't believe so, no.
I can't attack.
So I think you're out of stuff to do for your turn.
I'm done. That's fine.
Okay.
I accomplished my task. I'm good.
Mel, it is now your turn. What
I
would you like to do?
I am going to firebolt the big wolf.
You're going to firebolt the big wolf.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll to attack then. Yeah, that'll hit. Okay. So you shoot this firebolt over your friend's shoulder, and it slams into the side of the wolf, and the wolf begins like burning and like yelps and begins like running away from it, from you, from the fire, from the pain, and it drops onto the ground and like rolls over and is just dead.
I'm going to move a little bit closer then.
You're an accomplished wolf murderer, well done.
Just about hit. And that's all I shall do.
Okay. Sai, it is your turn. You have a refreshed vigor, and there are only 2 wolves remaining.
I am going to... How do you check distance again? How do you bring up the...
So that on the very left side,
Oh.
there is a little ruler thing that you can use. But Belle has so graciously shown you that
Yeah.
there are 20 feet for you.
So I can go hit the wolf. It's in combat with someone else, right? So I can do
Yes.
a stealth again.
You can get a
So-
sneak attack in.
Hit the rapier to see if I actually hit it.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Probably.
So yeah, that's 9, 19. I'll tell you right now, your base damage is enough to kill this thing at full health. So you swing forward after like leaping forward very gracefully, and you just like place it between this thing's like shoulder and its neck, and it doesn't even let out a yelp. It's just dead on impact. And you pull back, and there's not a single drop of blood on your blade as you sort of flick it away.
Very classy.
Yeah, and that's it for you for right now. Beto, what would you like to do?
Can I use my bonus action first?
You can use bonus action whenever.
Okay, as Vito's getting up, Bippa's gonna point blank this wolf next to me.
Just so you're aware, ranged attacks in melee have disadvantage.
That's fine.
Okay, so you will attack at disadvantage then. A 12 will not hit.
That's fine. And then gonna 2-hand attack this fucking wolf after I
Yeah.
get up.
Slash at it with your spear.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll to attack.
Is it disadvantage or regular?
It's just regular.
Okay.
A 14 will hit, and you will take 8 points of damage. It will take 8 points of damage, and as you like stab down into this wolf, you just like pin it to the ground with your spear, and it just goes limp as the last of the wolves is brought low, as you guys manage to survive this encounter with these deadly wolves. And then you hear the Final Fantasy fanfare music play. Yeah, you guys, the wolves have stopped moving, is silent. There is a moment that passes as you are all sort of standing there, and as we're sort of like fading to black on the scene of you guys having just killed these wolves, we hear in the distance.
Hate it.
I don't like that. Excuse me? Hello?
And we will pick up there in some weeks' time.
Oh boy. Don't like that.
Check the bodies for loot.
They're
Yeah.
wolves that don't really have like
Everything drops gold.
In them for fur.
Every MMO, every mob drops gold.
is this an MMO?
Pip is just on Vito's back, bouncing.
Yeah, good work, guys. Very nice first session.
Thank you.
Yay!
That was good fun.
Yay.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. Thank you.
We have
Yes.
surpassed the first session of a campaign game, which is beating up